Let's listen to Dave's story. Dave, when did you first come to the realization that your sense of humor would be helpful to other people with cancer?
One of the resources I found was a wonderful place called the Wellness Community. And what they do is they help cancer patients to become active in fighting for their own recovery. And I went over there and they had an orientation meeting where you go and they just teach you about the different types of meetings they have, the different types of facilities, different types of things that they do. And everything is free there. It's a fabulous place. So I went to the orientation meeting and we were all sitting around this living room atmosphere, nice soft couches and so forth. And what they did was they had us go around the room and everybody got 2, 3, 4 minutes to tell a little bit about their story and what their diagnosis was and what they had done. So everyone had 2 or 3 minutes. I think, and I probably took about 8 minutes, but I can remember after the meeting, I was approached by this couple, and really the man's wife. The guy's name was Bill Connell, and his wife approached me, and she said, "I just want to thank you." She said, "Bill has been depressed about this diagnosis ever since he heard about it. And the way you talked about it and the way you cracked a couple of jokes and you were laughing and you made fun of it," she said, "that's the first time I've seen him smile in months." She said, "I'm telling you, right, you changed the way he's thinking about this already. His attitude is different than it was 20 minutes ago." And I can remember thinking to myself, wow, the power of humor. I've always known that it has the power, but I never got to see it in this situation. And that's when I said to myself, I said, I'm going to do whatever I can as a comedian, as a funny person. I'm going to try to bring some of what I have to the world of cancer.
And when it comes to patients and their families and dealing with cancer, what part can humor play there?
Well, it's a very touchy thing. It's sometimes easier for the patient to joke around than it is the family. The family is very worried, very concerned what's going to happen to this person. They're very sensitive to the issue about the patient. And yet the patient sometimes wants very much to be able to joke around. I know for myself, I had to be able to have some humor in this, or I could not have talked about it at all. It's just too serious. It's too grave. If I couldn't crack a joke about it, I wouldn't be able to even discuss it. And in my comedy routine, I have a couple of segments that I do on. I talk about my surgery. I talk about having cancer on stage. They cut out a piece of my intestine. They made a bladder out of that, hooked it right back up to me again, and I'm working out of the same unit. Now, I was tickled by this. I thought it was great. Very happy. I must tell you, though, that my intestine was kind of upset. Well, look at this from the intestine's point of view. The intestine is thinking, you know, this is not a promotion. Last week I was in food service. Now I'm in waste management. I have had times when, after my show, I've had people approach me that have started to tell me about this situation. I've had 2 women tell me that they had breast cancer after the show, and they haven't even told their family yet, and yet they told me.